theme is security.
The government of Enugu State under His Excellency Dr. Peter Ndubisimba is one determined to make Enugu one of the top three states in Nigeria in terms of gross domestic product and achieve a 0% rate in the poverty headcount index. It is noteworthy that we cannot achieve the missions and visions of this administration without assured security. This is why this security summit is most important. The criminal tendencies of sit at home has made our people to develop fears. And fears, as we know, would not augur well in Enugu State. And that is why his government started off by fighting Monday sit at home. And by the grace of God, we have kept that behind us. The interface with the state security apparatus has led to the provision of about 100 vehicles so that the daredevil criminals will be traced wherever they may be. And the establishment of the DRS, that's the Distress Response Squad, is another one to show that the government is serious about security.
The rule, what make an ideal village security system is the rule of our traditional rulers and all men that are working with them. That is what makes an ideal social rural village. And then when they went the key, the intinche, the night they will ring band, then announcement that people have to secure their area. And this is lacking here. Because I have gone through, I know all of us, our efforts and weaknesses, but that is lacking because up and ways have to be cordoned and defended. Earlier enough by 6 o'clock, everywhere people can move around. And I don't say everywhere we sealed up. No, don't quote me. I'm saying those small up ways, that can block them. And you have a major one where people will line up, and then if they are going in, they go in. We know who is who with that place. This is lacking, and I want it to be done. Because now, at this time of our yearitude, most of our people will be coming for holiday and want to guarantee their safety. Yes, their safety has to be granted. Because most of them won't like to go. Let me say, because the speakers that we are speaking here before this time, he said some area become vulnerable on security because of some elements which I don't care to know who they are, VIPOB, I don't care to know, making things very difficult and making people who don't want to come, making them not passive. No, it's secured. It's high time. Our leaders, our rulers, will come up, say no to these criminalities, no to kidnappers, no to murderers. Yes, using their intention, using their neighborhood watch, mostly intention to ensure that security of the area is guaranteed.
Incessant attacks on the herdsmen and their stock by the activists have exposed farmers to reprisals by the latter. To give you an example, on the 8th of December, just 2022, over 50 persons were killed by rampaging Fulani herdsmen in Hamufu, in Isuzu local government area of Enugu State. Meanwhile, the hostilities by the activists have forced most of them to relocate to neighboring Kogi and Benue states. This has stoked ethno-religious tensions in the country, as some northerners are even canvassing for reciprocal attacks against Igbos living in the north. Next slide. Proliferation of small arms and light weapons. This trend poses a very serious threat to security in the zone. Apart from illicit arms sourced outside the region, many local gun manufacturers operate in Oka, Anambra State. These artisans can produce handguns, AK-47s, and other prohibited arms. In my opinion, educational curriculum at all levels should be restructured in line with current realities. Schools should teach the curriculum of the future, not the past. Today we have robotics, artificial intelligence, and automation, which are redefining most occupations globally. It is therefore important that responsible governments prepare their citizens for the future. And Enugu State is already keying into that, as I will explain later. The curriculum must emphasize problem solving, creative thinking, and digital skills. Next slide. This is the inside of the school in Obioma. It's a primary school with a computer center, a library, and separate classrooms for all the different streams. And children in the village have internet access and are able to learn and become productive at an early age. Curriculum must emphasize problem solving, creative thinking, and digital skills. Some subjects taught in Nigerian schools today may no longer be required in the future. For example, handwriting. Complex arithmetic is no longer done by hand, and the internet has replaced the need to memorize thousands of facts.
We know that the farmers that cannot go to their farms for fear of being raped, maimed, and killed by ravaging herdsmen, and to be counted in the great number of victims. The feelers of insecurity that live with us include transporters and commuters that have to recite all the Psalms of David on the outset of a journey to destination. They include traditional rulers who are now self-exiled from their thrones and domains. They include school children that don't go to school anymore on Mondays and that must miss their work exams or community exams on Mondays in Enugu State, Eastern Nigeria. They include women and children that have to go on compulsory fasting. Pastor say we should fast today. It's not true. There's no food in the house.
To come on stage to give their opinion or give a keynote speech.
Corruption is to fight corruption, is to look at public office holder and hold them accountable for the money that has been assigned to them. We ensure that money assigned for project, money assigned for activities are properly accountable for and utilized for the very purpose for which it was made for.
I want to use this opportunity to tell our people there was a lacuna or some shortcomings, not shortcomings per se. We know that the conventional security agencies, especially the police, if you check the United Nations statistics or what the number of policemen that should police a certain community, you will know that Nigeria is grossly inadequate. We have shortcomings. That was what informed the state government to set up an agency. Specifically, that is the problem we have, omnibus kind of arrangement. Specifically, to rid our forests of undesirable elements. That is the vision. Whether this
you find a fault of any particular vehicle, all you need to do is to change it. We have to own up. You understand? And believe that we are the cause of this insecurity because we fail to do our work. When you do your work, this insecurity will be a thing of the past. You understand? If the Igwe decide on their own to check the common people, to know how things is being done in their community, in their various domain, I don't think we'll be talking about insecurity. The only thing is that nobody cares, but is trying to consume all of us. So for them, we have to own up and face the challenges.
I chose to do this summit so that our rural communities will brace for the impactful development that is on the way in Enugu State. There should be a reorientation. We have to wake up. We have to go back. The CP mentioned it, that there's something lacking. In those days, every hamlet, you can't move 500 meters in a community without seeing a security check. every day, young men in the village, everybody participates in security. But today, I don't know, maybe because of the unbridled quest for material wealth, our orientation has changed.
Without education, then it's very difficult for the people in leadership positions to actually convince and direct their people, the citizens. So the capacity for the political elite over many years to keep their people uneducated and subordinated in order to make sure they can continue to appropriate the wealth of Nigeria to themselves has become what has led us to this problem. So that, I feel, is the biggest challenge that we face today. But in order to reverse that, we need to go back to the basics and focus on educating our people, and in that process, focus on providing economic opportunity for people to be able to take care of themselves, focus on reinvesting on the infrastructure in the country, electricity, water supply, healthcare, that allows a young person to be able to build a business without having to spend millions of naira to get to that level, focusing on providing poverty alleviation opportunities targeted at getting you to work and earn a living as an entrepreneur.